Hey, this is Don from Padlock Technologies again, back with another video. This time we're going to dive into the world of Firepower Device Manager, or FDM. Now, if you don't know anything about that, I did do a video, I'll put it up here, of a basic overview of Firepower Device Manager, which is the on-board local management of a secure firewall. Now, in my opinion, it's probably the last thing you should probably use for secure firewall. If you're looking for the order of operations, you should do Security Cloud Control, which is the cloud version of FMC, and a bunch of other stuff. Then there's on-prem FMC, and then there's FDM, which is Firepower Defense Manager. Now, what we're going to show you is how BGP looks totally different in Device Manager versus on-prem or Security Cloud Control. Now, before we get into that, you know what I'm going to say. If you haven't already, please don't forget to share, comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. If you want to, support the channel and help me get more gear and stuff like that, and be able to do these tutorials with different types of gear, consider becoming a member. You'll get early access to videos, and you'll get some member-only videos. Because some videos where I go deep into the technology, I make them member-only, and they will never get released to the public. So if you want to see that type of stuff, consider becoming a member. Now, if you are studying for your CCNA, which is at V11 right now until February 2027, your Encore or your NARCI, I got some guides, link in the description below. They're going to help you retain the information and learn exactly what you need to know for the test. Now, you know what I always say, don't just study for the test, but this specifically will help you retain the information you need to pass those exams. And then I have a troubleshooting series that's going to teach you how to troubleshoot like a CCIE. I'm a two-time CCIE, so I'm going to show you how troubleshoot like I would troubleshoot. And this is not only for your exam. This is going to help you in career, because you can memorize commands, you can Google commands. You need to have a troubleshooting method for when things go wrong, so you're not just staring at a CLI, not knowing where to start. So consider getting those guides as well. Other than that, let's get into the lab. I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like, and then I'm going to show you what device manager configurations look like. All right, so here's what I got bored and decided to do a MPBGP EVPN VXLAN fabric. Now I'm doing multi-tenancy, so there's technically two different VRFs under the hood. There's a customer A and a customer B. Now, I believe I did a video on this before, but what I did was I did not have routing between the firewall and the leaf. What I did is just I had all layer 2, so it was all L2, and I was just pointing the default gateway directly to the firewall interface. The difference with this one is I am injecting a default route into the border leaf, and the border leaf is sending it to its respective customer. And customer A can't talk to customer B without going through the firewall. Now, the firewall does not have a policy to allow that traffic. So when I show you the ping going to 2.1 from 1.1, it will not work, all right? But you'll see in the leaf here on leaf 1, you will see the quad 0. So if I go show IP route VRF customer A, as you can see, we got our quad 0s here that's getting injected from the firewall in the border leaf node, and then obviously going through to the node, the leaf that I'm on now. And then we have B, which is doing the same thing. Now, this is basically what NDFC does, ACI does with their L3 outs, and SDA does. Think of this as a fusion router down here going to your border leaf or your border node. This is technically what it does underneath the hood. Now, it obviously does it in different ways, right? This is MPBGP, EVPN, VXLAN versus VXLAN with Lisp, control plane protocol on SDA, and then ACI does it its own flavor. It's still Lisp, actually it's ISIS underneath the hood. Well, a lot of these run ISIS. I'm running OSPF here, but basically underneath the hood, they all do this, right? And then the two VRFs you're seeing is the either multi-tenancy or in the SDA world, VNs, right? They chop it up into different VRFs, and then you can put your subnets in your VN, and then that's how you separate the traffic from a micro level. But that was a brief little side quest about what all those different technologies do, or different techniques do. Now, if we look at our show IP, we're going to see I'm 1.1. Now, if I try to ping 192.168.1.2, obviously that's going to work because we're in the same subnet. We're doing L2 extension over layer 3, and we're this multicast and all kind of stuff that's going in my fabric. But as you can see, the L2 extension 1.2 is on leaf 2, and I'm just using VXLAN to tunnel that stuff over to the other leaf. Now, if I try to go to 2.1 though, this means I got to go through the firewall. And because there's no policy that allows that traffic, obviously timing out, right? Because there's no policy that on my firewall that allows that. So I just wanted to show you that VXLAN is working. I didn't just turn on nodes and just theorize it to you. I actually showed you that it's actually working. Always make sure people do this, show you their work, right? They can't show you their work. They just might be showing you that the lab's turned on and they actually didn't do anything. So now from a policy perspective, as you can see, customer A, customer B, going to the outside zone is allowed all this, but you don't see customer A to customer B or customer B to customer A. And I did not show you that internet is working. If I tried to ping out to the internet, as you can see, internet's working. All right, and let's just to over verify this. 92.168 2.2 because I'm on 2.1. As you can see, I can ping 2.2. I can't ping 1.1, even though we're on the same leaf technically, but I'm going to the firewall. And since the firewall doesn't have a policy, that's not going to work. And then let's ping 1.1.1. And internet's working. So this is actually 2.1. I wanted to show you that. So you got everything there. Okay. So now let's look at what BGP looks like from a FDM perspective. Now to do that, you got to go to devices, you got to go to routing. Got to get the default route in because I can't do default originate if I don't have the default route in BGP. You know how BGP works. It will not advertise routes it doesn't have in the route table. So if I go to BGP, now I created a BGP object. Compare this to on-prem FMC or security cloud control. There's no such thing as a BGP object. Okay, they actually have it under routing in its specific device that you're managing. Here, it's literally an object, right? So if you go to edit, this is basically the BGP configurations. Now, on the left-hand side, right, you see all these minus signs. Now, these are things that are already enabled. If I hit the minus sign, it will disable. So this is where you better know what commands you're actually doing. You better know what these commands actually do, because if you turn them on, and it may have a really bad effect on you if you turn them on, you don't know what you're doing. Now, one of them, the commands that was turned on here was a remove private AS command, and I had to disable it because it was enabled by default because it was underneath a command I enabled. So if you enable the top command, it can enable the sub commands, and you have to go through those sub commands to make sure those, if you're not using that feature, you can turn it off. Now, how can you see the things that are currently disabled? It's a big button here that says show disabled. If I hit show disabled, now you see all these other things that you can do that you probably should look at first before you just enable it. All right. And let me show you where is that? Yeah, here. So this one here, this remove private AS was turned on by default. Anything you see that has a plus sign to it means it's disabled, and you have to hit the plus sign to enable it. You got your BGP inject maps, exist maps. If you know BGP from I would say CCNP, CCIE level, you should know what an inject map, exist map is. Most people don't, but you should know it if you're at your CCNP, CCIE level. But it's turned off, and you should have it turned off by default. You should not have that enabled. Now, to get rid of that, you just hit hide disabled, and it shows you everything you technically have turned on. And as you can see, I'm doing the default originate. Now, here's the weird part about it. When you turn on this command, configure neighbor default originate none, you have some options under none. Like if I hit this none button, you got a route map or none, it actually puts this command underneath it. So it's like I've already configured this would be the normal statement you would configure under BGP, but in FDM you have to say no, I'm configuring this, and then it puts that command underneath it. So again, this is where if you're not comfortable with BGP, FDM is probably not the way you want to configure it. But if you're not comfortable with BGP, you probably should be configuring BGP on a secure firewall to begin with. Now, once you do this and you push it out via, you know, here, I don't have any pending changes to push out, but you push it out, that's how, okay, I got, the default route to get down to BGP. And then if we wanted, this is some of the stuff you can see here from a monitoring perspective. Now, I can do sessions since I did a simple ping. Let me do event, sorry. This is the event viewer in FDM. If I wanted to look at some connections here, now you probably won't see too much of anything because I didn't send any traffic. So let's send some actual traffic here. Slide this over, go back to the event. Ping it again. Okay, so there we go. So now we got some traffic here, things that are allowed, last packet. Like it's not as bad as you think it is, configuring things or monitoring things with FDM. But for me, I prefer using Security Cloud Control or on-prem FMC. This is like if you really can't afford an FMC or using Security Cloud Control and you want secure firewall, this is like the last of the last. And Cisco put this in here because that was a gap in the ecosystem. Because for people that did not want the FMC or they didn't have Security Cloud Control at that time, Cisco kind of got caught, right? Because you can manage a Fortinet or a Palo Alto on box. And when Secure Firewall first came out, you couldn't. So they kind of forced you to use the FMC, which, sales were not as much as it could be because of that. But now they got the on-prem or the local management, and it's not that bad. And if you look at this looks oddly similar to the session browser in Palo Alto. And that's why I say if you learn one, you can kind of figure out the other ones, right? Because you'll see like, oh, there's some similarities on, Palo Alto to this connection viewer. And then there's some similarities where Secure Firewall has some stuff and you go look at a Palo or you look at a Fortinet and you're like, wait a minute, that looks eerily similar to what's on Secure Firewall. So you learn one, you can pretty much learn them all. And that is really it from a BGP perspective. That's how you configure BGP in FDM. Let's get out of this lab and let's review what we just saw. So again, FDM is the on-prem management. If you're looking for order operation of the management that you should pick, again, like I said, it's Security Cloud Control because that ties in a lot of other security products, not just the firewall. And if you want to have, the hybrid mesh kind of situation that everybody keeps toting, but Cisco really has what I've seen hybrid mesh, a really good idea on hybrid mesh and a good ecosystem to do hybrid mesh, you would go Security Cloud Control. If you don't care about hybrid mesh or any of that, and you just want to manage it, then you go to on-prem FMC, but there's a bunch of headaches that you got to worry about upgrading if you're running in an HA and all that good stuff that Security Cloud Control kind of gets rid of. So, but if you don't want Security Cloud Control, definitely get an on-prem FMC. And if you don't want anything to do with the FMC and you still want the secure firewall, well, now you have Firewall Device Manager, but it takes a little getting used to. As you can see with the BGP configurations, it's not as simple as click here, do your neighbor statement, stuff like that. You better know what each one of those commands do before you enable it, and you have to worry about removing commands that are enabled for features that you're not even using, okay? So you definitely have to worry about doing that. If you haven't done it already and you like this video, please don't forget to share, comment, like, and subscribe. If you're studying for your CCNA, CCNP, Encore, or a NARCI, or you want to learn how to troubleshoot like a 2-time CCIE, there'll be a link in the description below. Pick up those guides. It'll help you in the exam and it'll help you in your career. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is Don from Padlock Technologies again. Thank you. and have a nice day.